Hello, entrepreneurs. I want to thank everybody that watched the video about do you do business or business. I appreciate everybody. I even enjoyed the comments, and some people were a bit offended and talked about exactly how they felt. And I appreciate that. We can only grow when we have a conversation. So, some people said that they jumped out and they didn't have everything together and they were taking a leap of faith. And I applaud that because anytime you do something for yourself, anytime you do business, it is a leap of faith. No matter how many times you've tested the product, talked about it, had people to encourage you, it is not until somebody actually buys that product or uses your service on a consistent basis. And even then, you're going to always be timid. You're going to always wonder because you're out here by yourself. You're out here by yourself trying to do something that other people haven't done, or in some cases, people have done. And so now you're competition. And there is always the fear factor. What if it fails? So it is never going to be something easy. No matter how successful your business grows, the more it grows, the more you're going to want it to grow. So I can appreciate that. However, much to them, my response is this: if you're doing business and details like paperwork and making sure you get things in place is going to stop that business, you're not really in it for the long haul. I am a big stickler, and I will tell anybody, do not undergo something that you're not ready to endure. Endurance is such a quality that is scarce these days. Most people do things and they expect instant results. They expect, immediate gratification. They think that everything's going to be okay. And I would tell that entrepreneur, you're not ready. I don't care what your business is. It could be the hottest trend. It could be whatever anybody wants. But as soon as you step out and you say you're going to go into business, you can rest assured that there is going to be some trial and error. There's going to be scarcity. There's going to be times when you feel like giving up. There's going to be lack of money sometimes. You're going to have to make decisions. Your life will change. And unfortunately, enough people do not think about all of those things when they go into business. I cannot tell you how many times I am counseling from the other side after the fact. I rarely get people who come before because they jump into it, and then once they're in, they start to realize, oh, there's so much more. And for some of them, it can become overwhelming because there's so many things they didn't consider, and because they didn't consider them, they start to doubt themselves, and it messes with every bit because it's not just the business, but you doubt yourself personally, emotionally, mentally, socially, because to be a business owner, you have to sacrifice. There are times when I can't go and hang out with other people because I have work to do, whether it's social media, whether it's advertising, whether it's, making sure my business is tight. I have people to meet with and things to do. So I have to change. If it's not planned, I can't always jump up and go, or it's not time. And those things cost. And then there's times where I have to plan a little bit extra because I have working capital. So just because I'm making money doesn't mean all of it is mine. I have to set myself a salary. There are so many different disciplines that go along with being a business owner. And if you don't take time to count up the costs, your business isn't going to go very far. That's just being honest. And even a great leap of faith can start out great and end in something tragic if it's not planned. Just because it starts as a leap of faith doesn't mean you don't put anything into it. That is one of the biggest contradictions that we have as believers, that if it's faithful or if it's a faith thing, then there requires no planning. And that's a lie. That's where the faith comes in. Faith comes in after the planning meets the opportunity with the gift. The rest of it is faith. But you don't just walk in and do, just do anything or do things without planning and go, oh, it's faith. God is the only person that does the radical and the unbelievable. You don't just stop, you don't just do it. That's not your job. Your job is to put it all together and then use faith. And I try not to be churchy or preachy, but I hate people blaming, faith and saying that when that's not true. You still need to plan. As a matter of fact, you should have a plan. And if you're a believer and you think that God is not a planner, you don't know him very well. And you cannot know him without knowing his ways. Now I'm gonna leave that part alone because trust me, you're not ready for the preach. It's in here. It's always been in here. But I'm here to tell you about business. With business, I don't care what it is, even when it's a partnership, people go in, they talk about how much they know each other, how much they like each other. I have been in the midst of those situations where the partnership calls me and all of a sudden they call, I'm doing books, we're talking, and they find out they don't know the partner like they thought. That's because they did not do business. It doesn't matter what type of business you are and how you decide to do it. You need a business plan. That is a must. If you're in a partnership, you must have a partnership agreement that outlines expectations. Without that, you do not have a partnership, and it will fail, and you will lose money. All of those things because it's not done right. I get a lot of people that they start out mad and then halfway through they start to understand what I'm saying and then they start to see the results. Anything that is not planned will not generate money. Everything has a plan, and it has to have a way for the money to come in. Think about it. On your job, there is a plan, there is a payday, there is a pay period, there is a method of payment, there is a job description. There is an expectation of how the job should be carried out. And then there's a way that that business brings in money. There's a method for them to receive money. There's a method for them to pay bills. And everything works in a cycle, in a circle, in an organized fashion so that you, the employee, will have a job and will have finances. When you step out on your own, you have now accepted the challenge to become and to create that same cycle. And that cycle cannot be created and carried out in your head. Most of you have children. You have a spouse. Now you have a business. You cannot do it up here. The business plan is the organization and the creation of the business cycle. That means not only can you pay yourself, entrepreneur, but you can hire others. Do not use the excuse that you're doing a leap of faith and I just jumped out and did it and just think that it's going to be successful. Nobody operates that way. Even if you start out, you have to get it organized in order for it to grow. If it's only up here, then it's never going to go anywhere. It's not going to get big because it can only get big enough as long as it can last here. Anything worth operating, when you hire or add one more person to a job, it grows beyond this. Nobody can follow what's up here. That's why you have to have written job descriptions. Trust me, I have counseled and I have met with small business owners who have everything up here and they wonder why their business is collapsing or why they cannot maintain employees. Do not get stuck. Do not sell yourself short. You can take time to organize and plan. Otherwise, you have planned to fail. It's been your girl, the Queen Bee of Doing Business Better, saying let's really do business and let's do it better. Bye-bye.